morning, almost afternoon, everybody. Thank you. For those of you who don't know me really quickly, I'm Michele Wyatt. I work for the Virginia Beach Police Department. And I've been told that I'm not allowed to pace around, so I'm going to really try to stand in one spot, but that really goes against my nature altogether. But what I'm going to review a little bit, go over, is PBL in the academy and our culture, okay? We talked a little bit about it in one of our sessions earlier on Wednesday, I believe it was. Didn't really get to what my staff and I are trying to do within the academy setting. So basically, what is the current climate of training right now? How do we train our recruits? We are set up in very similar fashion as we are right now, correct? We have logical linear seats, rows, tables that are right behind one another, and then we use the crutch, as we call it, of PowerPoint. And we call that death by PowerPoint. We've all been in that class, right? Oh my God, how am I going to get through this next 8 hours of 45 slides, 75 slides, and then worse off, the instructor reading off of that slide. So when we talk about that, what does that accomplish for us? What is that? We have to ask ourselves, what does death by PowerPoint accomplish for the training mission? What it accomplishes is, it accomplishes the standards. That's all. In Virginia Beach, it's the DCGS standards. Our academy has to accomplish around 1,400 standards in order to be a certified police officer. So death by PowerPoint, we can put the standard in there, and then we can tell DCGS that they've accomplished the standard. But can we truly say that they understand it? Is it understanding for them when we go, okay, there it is, it was in the PowerPoint, and you were present in the class, but are they truly getting that message? And what is we have to ask ourselves, what is the focus? Who is the focus in that classroom? The instructor is the focus. The instructor is standing up there, look at me, I'm going to tell you all about this subject that I have. But does that really matter? It doesn't matter, right? The student needs to be the focus. The student needs to be the one that is getting this information. So we have to ask ourselves, how do we change that training culture? Can we change that training culture? What we need to do is take PBL into the academy. That's how we change this culture. PBL is student-centered, and it's their responsibility to get the work. Excuse me. The instructor stands back and facilitates these things versus me standing up there telling you exactly what we need to know. This is how we accomplish this. We need to think about who is the most important person in that room. Is it me as the instructor and the subject matter expert? Or is it the student that knows nothing about police work and we're trying to teach them about police work, go out there and accomplish it and be very effective? Well, I think that we could all sit here and say that the student is the most important person in that classroom. And we do nothing to facilitate that, at least in my academy. I can tell you that I've gone into our academy several times, and it's death by PowerPoint, and worse off, there's an instructor reading directly off of the slide, which drives me crazy. And our students are completely unengaged. They are completely not engaged at all. They are given the PowerPoint previously, so they don't even need to follow along. They don't write notes. They don't do anything. They're thinking about, okay, it's 10 minutes to 11. It's time for lunch here. Can't wait for that. And it's 10 minutes to 3. It's time to PT in 5 minutes. That's all they're thinking about. They're not engaged at all. Because why are they not engaged, we ask ourselves? Because it's not relevant to them. We have to bring in adult learning principles into the academy. And one of those things is relevance. How is this relevant to my training? How is it relevant to me being a police officer? And that relevance is going to make them engaged and want to learn and want to find out more things. So we bring in PBL In my academy, every chance I get, if there's downtime, if they have a staff day or they're doing remediations or something, me and my staff, we go down there and we do PBL stuff. I put them in groups, and they see me come in the door, and they're like, oh, here comes Sergeant Wyatt. We're going to get some PBL done. We're going to do some stuff. And they are so engaged. They love it. They go out, they learn their things. I do pulse teaching, I do group work, and then we discuss it as groups. It's not me standing up there going, you need to learn this, and this is the way you learn it, and this is what you should do. Because in police work, there are many different ways, right? If I were to go out and do a traffic stop, and somebody else would go out and do a traffic stop, there is a real good chance that we would do it completely different. But in the end, we both do it safely. We both are given the citations that are needed, or the warning, and so on. And we go home at the end of the day. So isn't that the biggest accomplishment that we need, right? We need to go home at the end of the day. If they do it something differently, then let's go with it. So what we talk about is, what does PBL accomplish for us in the training academy? What does it really give us as police trainers? Well, I'll tell you that it gives us, again, it develops relevance to the problems in the instruction. It gives them ownership into what's going on. If they are involved in their own learning and creating projects or creating lesson plans or creating something that they have to teach back to their own class, that's ownership for that, and they don't want to look stupid, and they want to be, they want to be able to give that information back to their fellow students. So that's ownership. That's huge for us. It develops critical thinking. Critical thinking is huge for us in police work. At a moment's notice, we've got to make quick decisions. We've got to be able to think of everything and put everything together. Because, if we go to a call, a domestic call or something like that, we don't have our class behind us going, hey, we should do this, hey, we should do that. We have to develop that critical thinking right then and there to be able to accomplish this. So problem-based learning develops critical thinking, something that we have lacked in police work, or at least police training, for a very long time. And after we talk about problem-based learning, then we ask ourselves, how does our leadership, our city councils, our citizens benefit from utilizing PBL into the academy, into our training? How does it benefit us? We have to ask that question. Well, I'll tell you that it's the greatest answer for all of those people, and it's that we develop problem solvers. Problem solvers. They're going out, they're tackling the problems. It's amazing to get a recruit that has been taught problem solving in the academy, taught problem solving in PTO training, and then comes out and is on their own and actually solves a problem without somebody telling them to do it, with their own drive and self-awareness and self-motivation. We've given them problem solvers right then and there. And I didn't even have to do anything as a supervisor. And that benefits everybody. Our city council will love it. Matter of fact, our city council was in contact with one of our PPOs, and in one of our problem neighborhoods, our city manager is actually direct contact with our officer and fixing a problem that he developed or he identified, worked with the community, and then now they're getting that problem fixed for the community. I think that's huge, right? That's absolutely huge. We have problem solvers to our city council, our leadership looks good, and they enjoy that, and of course our citizens benefit exponentially. So as students here and attendees into this conference, I would ask you that you guys go back to your training units and ask yourselves, or ask the training units, what are we doing to facilitate problem solvers? What are we doing to facilitate the adult learners in there? And is there a way that we can change that culture? For me in Virginia Beach, I have forced myself into those positions to be able to go down there and insert PBL. And it's a struggle. It's not something that somebody wants to do right away, or somebody is willing to create this, but I am putting myself in there. And it's benefiting, and I'm showing that to my command staff. I'm showing that to my captains and my lieutenants that this works. So I would ask yourselves to go in there. If you are a general instructor, or if you are a specialized instructor, and you sit up there and you have a PowerPoint that is more than 10 slides, you need to ask yourself, who does that benefit and who is the focus of that presentation? And if you come up with me, then you need to revisit that and rebuild and try to develop it where it's more relevant to the student. So all in all, PBL in the academy, it is a great way to get problem solvers, and most importantly, who benefits from that? City council, leadership, and most importantly, the citizens that the city that you serve. Thank you very much.